In this video, we'll talk about simplifying exponents. Let's take a look at some properties first. Addition. For example, we have 3x squared plus 4x squared. Now we see x here is the base, and 2 here is the exponent, and 3 here is the coefficient, right? Similar, x here is the base, right? And 2 here is the exponent, and 4 is the coefficient. Whenever you add two exponents together with the same base and the same exponent, right? We add the coefficient first, then we write down the exponent after that. For example, now we have 3x squared plus 4x squared, we get 7x squared. In this case, 3x squared and 4x squared, they are like terms, so we can combine together, and this is the result. What about if they are not like terms? So you cannot combine together. For example, 3x squared plus 4y squared. You see, even the exponent is the same, but the base is different, so they are not like terms. So you cannot combine them together, and this is just the final form of it. What about 3x squared plus 3x? You can see they have the same base right here. X is the base right here, and 2 is the exponent of the first exponent. And then x here is the base, right? So basically, we have the same base, but the exponent is different. This is x raised to the 1. So basically, you cannot combine them together because they are not like terms. But you can simplify it by just use the common factor, like put x outside and 3 outside. Inside, you have x plus 1. You see, 3x times x, you get 3x squared. 3x times 1, you got 3x. But basically, they are not like terms. You cannot combine them together. How about multiplication? For example, 3x squared times 4x raised to the third. X right here is the base, 2 is the exponent. X here is the base, and 3 here is the exponent. Basically, we multiply the coefficient together, 3 times 4 together, right? And x squared is, we take two variable x, we multiply together. And x raised to the third, we take 3 variable x, we multiply together. So it equal to 12 times, basically we take 5 variable x, we multiply together. So x raised to the 5th. Basically, when we multiply two exponents together with the same base, we multiply the coefficient together. Then we write down the same base and we add the exponent together. And it is how it works. So we got 3 times 4, we got 12. And x we write down right here. And then 2 plus 3 is 5. What about division? Let's take a look at this. Ax to the 5th divided by 4x squared. We see here x is the base, and then 5 is the exponent. X here is the base, and then 2 here is the exponent. Basically, we can rewrite the problem as 8, and we take 5 variables of x, we multiply them together, and then divided by 4 times. We take 2 variables of x, we multiply together. Then we cancel x with the x right here and x with the x right here. We only have left 3 variable x multiplied together, which means x to the third. And we can simplify a over 4 is 2 times x to the third. Basically, when you divide two exponents together, first of all, you divide the coefficient together. If there is any second step, you write down the base. And the next step, you subtract the exponent from the top to the bottom. Or we have a over 4 is 2. And x raised to the 5 minus 2 is x to the third. And that's how we deal with the division. How about this example? X squared raised to the third. In this case, we multiply. We multiply 2 and 3 together. And x raised to the 6. Why? Because this means we multiply 3 x squared together. X squared times x squared times x squared. And each term here is we take two variable x, we multiply together. And then you can see that we count 6 variable x we multiply together, right? So the result is x to the 6th. How about x raised to the 0? Keep in mind that anything raised to the 0 equal 1. For example, 3 raised to the 0 equal 1. 2 raised to 0 equal 1. Or a raised to 0 equal 1. Let's take a look at this example. A 3 to the 4th plus negative 2 square minus 2 to the 3rd. First of all, we can rewrite this as 3 square, all of it square, plus negative 2 square minus 2 to the 3rd. We can see 3 square is 9. Now we have 9 square plus negative 2 square is negative 2 times negative 2 is 4. Minus 2 to the 3rd is 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. We got 8, right? 9 square is 81. Plus 4 minus a. 81 plus 4 is 85. Minus 8 equals 77. Let's work on question B. 2 raised to the 3rd times 2 to the 4th plus 2x to the 3rd times negative 2 times x to the 4th. Because we have the same base here, 2, so we put 2 here, and then 3 plus 4, right? Same base, and we add exponent together. Here is the multiplication, right? We multiply all the coefficients together, which means we take 2 times negative 2 first, and then x to the 3rd times x to the 4th equal 2 raised to the 7th. You see, 2 times negative 2, you got negative 4. Times x to the 3rd times x to the 4th. We have the same base here is x, right? We put x here, and the exponent, we add them together. Now we have 2 raised to the 7 is 128. Minus 4 times x raised to the 7. And this is the result for the question B. Let's work on question C. We have 2 squared to the 3rd plus 2 times x to the 3rd equal 2 raised to the 2 times 3 plus 2 raised to the 3rd times x to the third equal 2 raised to the 6 plus 8 times x to the third equal 64 plus 8 times x to the third. We notice we can put a outside right here, and then inside parentheses we have 8 plus x to the third, because a times a is 64, a times x to the third is a times x to the third. This is the final answer for question C. Let's see this example. Negative 3 raised to the 7 divided by negative 3 to the third plus a raised to 0 plus 2 times a raised to the 6th times b to the third, all divided by a times b, all of it square. The first step we need to do is we simplify this first term. We can see this exponent has the common base, so we can put the base here, negative 3, and we subtract the exponent together, 7 minus 3 here. A raised to 0, you get 1, plus 2 times a to the 6th times b to the third. A times b square we can rewrite as a square times b square equal negative 3. 7 minus 3 is 4 plus 1 plus 2 times. Now we see a to the 6th divided by a square. We have a is a common base, right? We can put a here. We put 6 minus 2 right here. And then b is a common base. We put b here. The top is 3 minus 2, right? It's an exponent. We subtract the exponent together. We keep the same base, right? Equal negative 3 raised to the 4th plus 1. Now we have plus 2 times a to the 4th times b equal negative 3 raised to the 4th equal 81. Because negative 3 square is 9 and 9 square is 81. 81 plus 1 plus 2 times a to the 4th times b equal 82 right here, plus 2 times a to the 4th times b, and this is the final answer for question D.